Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
This world is changing more and more every day, and we've decided to change right along with it. My name is Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the president of Trajectory TV Network. At Trajectory, our vision is to provide a creative platform for top content creators and storytellers from around the globe. We're also dedicated to providing this world with content that is healing, educational, empowering, exciting, and above all else, entertaining and transparent. So right now, I invite all of you who believe yourselves to be global game changers to use the link found here and simply take a chance. Schedule a virtual chat where you'll have the opportunity to share your vision for your very own global television show with me, the network president. So use that link, and together, let's begin changing and healing this world, one story at a time. And remember, whether you have years of experience in front of the camera or zero experience, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is your desire to share great content through television and a willingness to share it with passion and with purpose. You might ask, how do I know if I've fallen in love with my purpose and my purpose has fallen in love with me? It's easy when you've lost your voice because you just can't stop talking about it. I'll see you soon.
I've lost some battles along the way.
Hi, I'm Mike Sabuika. I am a director, producer, and performer. I have been involved with charity since I was a little kid, and it's always brought me joy.
So let it burn all the way to the ground.
And we want to be a part of this project because we want to be a helping hand.
And spread joy. And
So I guess the universe is working and gather all of us to do something good for these beautiful children.
I know I'm on my way back home. Let it burn all the way to the ground. We will keep on fighting till the end. They're gonna build statues in our name, statues in our name. We're gonna stand proud among the brave, proud among the brave. It isn't in our blood to let our hearts go cold. However dark it gets, we're gonna rise our toes. They're gonna build statues in our name, statues in our name. We are tall as giants, we are strong as lions. Nothing's ever gonna tear us down. We are tall as giants, we are strong.
Give them hope. Yeah, my main motivation for this whole project is giving hope to the children.
No, nothing's ever gonna
What
tear
matters in life is to be a good person and to do good to others.
gonna tear us down. They're gonna build statues in
Can I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. But you walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight.
Almost missed my bell cue. Oh my goodness. It's Friday. It is Friday. It's Friday. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris. And Easter weekend. Remember how exciting that used to be when we were kids? Easter egg hunts. You knew you were getting a basket. And you know what my favorite memory from childhood as far as the Easter time? Two things. You always got new clothes for church. Always. So that was cool. But really, do you remember how you would take those the milk cartons at school and put that fake grass in it, and then they'd cut them open? Did you guys do that? And you'd have your little jelly beans and stuff in there. Oh, it's just so exciting. Happy Easter weekend, everybody. Wow, this week has flown by. I'm home alone, have been for the last 2 days, and probably will be, I think, until tomorrow afternoon. My husband, Brian, is playing Nurse Cratchit. Doing service work. His best friend, Margaret, is recouping. Send light and love, some prayers from a knee replacement she had a Tuesday, and he's over there helping her for a few days. So it's kind of weird when you're home alone. You don't sleep right. You certainly don't. I don't cook and eat like I would when we're here as a family. I think I ate a bag of popcorn last night for dinner. Right? What is that? But anyway, I'm just glad to be here. How about you? If you're glad to be here today, within purpose, act like it. Do something on purpose. Say, I'm glad to be here today. Put it in the comments, won't you please? So anyway, really quickly, you saw, we just showed you the Team Romania. Great videos they provided us. We're so excited. You guys, we need your light, your love, your prayers all over all of my social media. You'll find the GoFundMe information. Please share it out. We've got about, I think as of yesterday, we're $13,000 away, which is usual. We still have 3 weeks. I'm not worried. It's in God's hands. He always takes care of it. They always take care of it. GT always take care of it. But there we go. There's our poster. We're headed over for the Legacy of Hope tour. We're taking 200. I'll show you that clip on the break. 200 letters written by kids all over the country. We're taking them over inside of comfort cases, backpacks, with great things for the kids to enjoy once we've come back home. There's the banner, the flyer. And next week you'll see a video from who is making up and comprising, almost a compromising, 12th grade education, y'all. Those wonderful souls that comprise Team USA. We'll have that for you next week. We're making it over the weekend. Today's guest I have in here. Interesting. You know how sometimes you meet people and at first you just think you're meeting them just to be, shits and giggles, whatever. And then time may go by, which is what happened here. But then you come back together. You both changed. You've both grown. And you feel like you've known them all your life. I was going to call Michael Post the other day and just say to him, it was like when I had my best friend Scott until I entered foster care. We were the 2 shortest boys in the school. We were the 2 fastest runners in the school. And we were a black and white duo. Even though when I would go to his house to play, I wasn't allowed to come in because his parents weren't quite open to people of color, we'll say, at the time. But they got used to it because he married a black woman. Look how God works. But anyway, I used to, couldn't get home and be on the phone with him. 10 minutes later, my mom would go, "You just left Scott. Why are you on the phone with him? What could you possibly have to talk about?" That's what this guy does. Michael's story is so interesting. Michael himself is so interesting. And I wanted to get him on today to talk about what he's doing in the world and to share his incredible story. So I am going to kind of wing his bio, but I'll tell you this much. His name is Michael Post, just like, what is it? What if he's related to the cereal empire? You know, Michael, you're my best friend in the whole world. Just in case. Anyway, Michael helps high-performing coaches of entrepreneurs who want to reawaken the high-performance human solopreneurs, and that's his own word, SOUL, solopreneur, within each of us. And that's what he helps us do. He helps us go from locked up or as a copy to freed up to one's authentic self through consciousness. He says, help wanted, like the help wanted signs, to uplift the consciousness of this magical world we live in by example. And then he asks me, how's that sound? It sounds great, Michael. It sounds great. So we're going to get him in here. He's never been here before. And sometimes you can be a little nervous or, whatever. But we do what we do. We give the VIP treatment. We roll out the virtual red carpet and we do it all. We get to our feet virtually. How? By putting hearts on the screen. They're free and they're painless. Please throw some hearts up, won't you? As we bring our good friend today. He'll be your good friend. I guarantee it by the end of the show. Here he comes, Michael Post. Good morning.
Good morning to you, brother. Great day. I love to say great day, great life, great now, because it really is truly now.
I'm trying to make you nervous by being quiet. So you're going to, because I'm not going to be pulling teeth. Yes.
I love quiet.
I know you do. See, you're the kind of guy, if we were on the bus together, I'd be like, let's do a stare off, a stare down.
And just love each other, right? Yeah, just love each other's soul. And we just love each other's soul. Before it would be a stare down, like, come on, just look at me crazy, right? Now it's like, I see you. I love you. Because I know
you got that. You got that thing. You got that thing. I'll tell you what that is, but I'll do that after I give every guest a minute or so right now at the top of the show to kind of have a moment alone, with the audience to connect, to create your own vibe together. And it's an opportunity for you to fill in some of the points that I may not have spoken to already. And then I'll come back in and we will get started with this story journey this morning. How's that sound?
Sounds beautiful.
Okay, I'm going to give you a moment. Take your time. All you.
Thanks, brother. Thank you so much. My name is Michael Post, and I am the co-founder and visionary of Samadhi Sea of Wisdom Meditation School. And really, in a nutshell, we help humanity go from locked up to freed up within their own consciousness. See, I see so many people out there, waiting for something to happen, waiting for change, waiting for someone, right? The one that they've been looking for all their life. And, they're looking for that next break, that next opportunity. And we search all our lives and we see by studying great people that the one thing that we regret is the one thing that's so important, is appreciating those small moments. And when you can appreciate the small moment within you, you really realize how great and big and enormous life is, because it's truly happening inside of you. So what I love to do is I love to take people that have, done everything. They've been everywhere. They've tried everything and really realize that none of that was supposed to work because it was working the whole time. Because the thing that works is ourself. See, we're always on fire. We're always in ultimate passion. Just the fact that we're alive. Think about that for a moment, Dr. Lauren, right? The fact that we're alive is the ultimate passion flowing through us. But we're doing everything to negate that. It just takes one little shift to awaken the greatest awakening in yourself. And it's not true because we're waiting for something to happen. It's happening right now.
Right now.
And if you would have told me, I wouldn't have believed it, right? But go ahead. Go ahead, doctor.
No, I was just agreeing. And you're right. And it sounds so simple. It sounds so executable. However, it took me 50 years. It truly did. It took me 50 years to just sit my ass down, inside of the moment, and stop. It was like, remember Dr. Doolittle? There was that llama that had a body in the middle and the heads were going to push me, pull me, or whatever. One would go this way and the other. That was me. I was either keeping one foot in the past, trying to throw one foot into the future, and then doing the splits, which I couldn't because my stiff ass, straight across the middle. So by the time I was ready, because I wasn't ready, or I caught it when it was time. But the time I realized what I'd done, it was too late because the moment had passed. The opportunity had passed. Right. So I love this. I love this conversation. But let's go to, because I know you're a believer, so I'll go with in the beginning. But for those of you who are finding your way to believing, or which is good, that's fine. We love common ground. We all can be who we are. But for you, it would be once upon a time. So wherever it is, take us back to your in the beginning. Where did you get started in life? What kind of family life? What part of the country? Who were you when you were little Mikey?
When I was little Michael, that I vaguely recall is I was a very kind, very clumsy. Like literally, I would just stand up and then I hear stories and I would just fall back down. Like I would just, you never see a baby do that, but that I would be standing up straight and all of a sudden I just fall down like I faint. Like you get touched in in the church with the Holy Ghost and you just go bunk.
When somebody touch them and they fall out.
Right. And that's what would happen to me when I was a little kid. And, everybody was worried if something was wrong with me. And, fast forward, that tape is that when my dad left, I literally made a shift in my life to hate everything in my life and to destroy the very facet of who I was. Because when my dad left, I didn't eat for a month and a half. My mom had to take me to a shaman in Mexico, which she's this really, she was this really religious Christian, and it was against everything of her belief. But when your son is dying, she said, I'm going to take a chance. And literally they had to put a straw in my mouth and, coax me to start drinking through the straw, which they had to force through my mouth because my mouth was locked up. My mouth wasn't opening. Because see, when you don't use a mouth, it atrophies, right? So I wasn't using my mouth. So my mouth literally got stuck like this.
Wait. Okay.
My mouth.
Okay. Good Lord.
Yeah. So
man,
go ahead.
you threw a whole beach party in on that one. So, okay, let's go back. Wait a minute. I still want to go back to the little kid that just would fall over. So there was no physical ailment. Why were you just falling over?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I just would fall over just out of nowhere like that. Think.
Why do you think that's still a part of your origin story? Standing out. Why haven't you forgotten about that? Why do you think you bring it in? It must be important enough. It must be something. What do you think that is or was?
Can you specify that question? Because I heard the question, but I didn't know what.
Well, what I mean is it stands out to you because you tell it in the story. I used to so did you stop doing it at a certain age? What do you think it represented?
I don't remember doing it. I think I would just shift, to be honest with you. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell you what exactly was happening. But I mean, if you think about it logically, when a boy is standing or a child is standing, they fall back, they must have had a shift, something that got lost in translation. Maybe my whole reality got rewired in a different way. And it was like, wait, where am I? Boom. I don't know who I am. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't, but hearing the
story, I get it now. Now I get it.
Sense, right?
You're that's why it's in there to let us know. Okay, here it is. So you believe, you do.
And I was clumsy. I was clumsy after that, right? That's right.
Was it clumsy, or was this particular thing something already working in tandem with you?
Right. But I was told that I was clumsy. So that belief system.
Oh, so that's what they chalked it up to.
Right. So I became clumsy. I was literally clumsy.
That's not even the same thing.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
Clumsy means people that keep tripping over stuff, bumping into shit, all of that.
But see
but to just be standing there.
Yeah. But guess what, doctor? This explains the power of belief that our parents, that our society instills on us. Like you said, I wasn't clumsy because I've never seen nobody do that before. Right.
Right.
There's no explanation to that. It has nothing to do with clumsiness. It's just something that just happens. Right. And And because I was told I was clumsy, that affected my reality that I was clumsy. I would drop food, like
Of
I'd be
course.
eating,
Of
right?
course. You were groomed.
So,
Right.
right. So I got
Now,
teased a lot, and I think that's why I became a fighter, because I wanted to protect my reality. Like, this is who I am. Let me show you who I am, right? So I became a fighter.
well, I know that kind of stuff works. I mean, it happens rather, because
Right.
my thing, when I was, I don't know, from 4 on up, as far as that's the earliest I remember, but I had what everyone called imaginary friends,
Yeah.
and today I know, well, longer than today, but still today, let's put it that way. I've always known they weren't imaginary, because they're in here with me right now, and I don't care now. I don't give a shit if people think, oh, he crazy, cray, he's seeing things.
Right.
Sure am, and I'm not afraid to embrace the unseen because I know that
Well,
I am co-creating now.
Um,
Now, wait a minute.
Dr. Lauren, did you want me to call you Dr. Lauren or
You
Lauren?
just call me Lauren.
Okay. Thank you. So Lauren, if you think about it, like, wouldn't this be considered magic 100 years ago?
Yeah,
Like, we're on a
absolutely.
screen that like, you're not in front of me, but you are. So we're starting to open up our consciousness, because things that we would have never considered were real, like, is real. And what I tell people, if you can imagine it, that means it exists, because you cannot tap into something imagined that doesn't exist in another. I don't want to get woo woo here, but I like the woo woo, right? Because I think the woo woo introduces you to the wow wow,
I love
right?
it. Yes.
Is that when you realize that we haven't tapped into even a part of our potential of human
No.
consciousness, because our technology is like slow compared to who we truly are. Like, we think this technology is great, like this iPhone and everything, but we don't even know our own devices. We know our devices better than we know our human device. And that's why, in the intro, I say taking, the entrepreneur, the high performing coach, to the human, right? The high level human performer, which is the soulpreneur, which is the soul, because the soul wants to come through all of us.
It's
It's
what you
here.
start with, and it's what you leave with.
Yes, but it's what we
It is.
start with, but very few people really realize that that's who we are. Like, I can say I'm a soul. Here's a good point. Really quick, right? Is that we can say we're a soul, right? I can study the soul, but if I never study myself, I'm only going to be hypnotized by thinking what it is. I'm never going to really truly, like, oh, I am a soul, right? And I had to die. My near-death experiences, like, really opened up my reality that, oh, I didn't say that, but that's part of my story. Is I died several times. And because I was doing
Wait,
drugs,
stop, because now you're getting all inside of what I was going to talk about. Okay,
okay, let's do it.
right. Okay, here's what I want you to imagine, because I know I'm on the seat of the motorcycle, and you're in the sidecar. Because I don't want you to give away stuff. I won't have a mic drop moment for you because it's so much in there. I don't want to lose this thing about the word clumsy, because the power of words is crucial. Yes. From positive words to negative words, converting negative words into positive words, the swapping, the bringing in, the pulling out, the entire vetting process. Because, like Bruce Lee said, words as spells. That's why it's called spelling, and that is so true. So let's talk about that, because, okay, for instance, in this day and age, I say all the day long, every day, without even thinking, whether it's a believer, a person on the street, I don't even think about it. What they're going to think when I say it, will they understand it? And I use the term downloads. Now, if that was 100 years ago, or not even that long ago, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, and let's say before the computer age, download wasn't a thing, because it didn't exist. So what did they call those things? What were they then? Premonitions. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And if I would have said I had a premonition, people would say, "Oh Lord, he's an evil this that." So that's my point. How
and oh, go ahead.
It's magic. It's spiritual magic.
Yes, and that's why I want to introduce this word, but you can introduce it later. But I just texted it to you, vibrillionaire, because I created that word out of nowhere. Let me just say, I didn't create it.
I saw that.
It was given to me. Yeah, it was given to me. I didn't create that word. That word exists. I just pulled it up. I just accessed
Vibrillionaire.
Yes. And
So you
what
love
you've been
making
saying,
words up.
what's that?
You love making words up.
Oh, I
Well,
love
because you got
I love playing with
solopreneur.
word magic. What's that?
What?
I love playing with word magic because if you think about it, I it's part of my story. So I don't know if you want me to share it right now or you want me to share it
Well,
later.
let me say this about you, because I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm gonna tell you something. I remember when the universe told me, you ever hear, okay, I think that's a divine gift for you, that you like to make up words. Let me tell you why that is so important. I remember when I used to, especially at the beginning of my speaking career, where I would be, you always write it out and plan it out, but then you get in that moment because when we come together and all the frequencies, shit changes up, right? The unexpected happens all the time. So I'd find myself struggling to express what it was and then
Right.
I get frustrated, but I couldn't just say anything because it felt like it was disrespectful to the experience I was trying to convey. So I wouldn't know what I say. Well, there are no words. I don't have a word. And then Source told me, you know why that is, Lauren? Because not enough people have walked past that thing, have stood and looked at, I wonder what that is. Like somebody say, this is a mug. Somebody had to say, this is a whatever it is that you use to hit the bell.
Right.
You see? So,
and I think,
when you find yourself creating words, I believe it's because you've walked past this thing. You've looked all the way around it from top to bottom, top, side to side, corner. And you go, you know what? Because you use your dominion. You speak what you've seen and you speak what you've been shown. And here it is. So tell us about Vibrillionaire. What is that?
Well, before we go into that, because I think you touched on a very important point, and we're here so the audience can empower themselves. That's what I love about you, right? We're not here to just talk about ourselves, but that's part of it, right? But
I don't know where you got that from. I am here to completely talk about myself.
one thing that you said, right? I know you, and that's why I love being here. I love being here because I love your vision. One thing that I wanted to tell the audience is, and I want to take them into like a little breathing, like a little meditation, because we can talk about this, but I really desire to just instill inspiration, right? But one thing that you said is so important is it goes with our intro. Our intro goes, it's not about positivity. It's not only about positivity. It's not only about negativity. It's about something more raw, real, organic, and true and authentic. And really, it's about you. See, when you're trying to be positive or negative, you're not being authentic because you're thinking, I have to be like this. I have to be like that. And I'm not saying there's something wrong with positivity and negativity because it serves its place for us to mature into the authentic being that we are. We're eternal. We're infinite. That's just my humble opinion. Not just my humble opinion because I live it. I feel it. I embody it. But my point is this, is that you talked about downloads, and the reason why, humanity has struggled with accessing this incredible infinite awareness is because they don't trust that they can be themselves. Because when you can trust to be yourself, you access what hasn't been accessed before. Because you're being yourself, and when you're being yourself, you become this channel, whatever you want to call that. You become this medium for your higher self, your true self, whatever people want to call that, the Holy Ghost, right? You become this channel as this God being that you are. You're a God-like being, right? Because can we agree, this is just a little touch, can we agree that we're seeing a lot of things in the world that look like, demon-like beings, right? Killing each other, fighting each other, right? So if we see all of this, do we realize that there's God-like qualities? We want peace on earth. We want unity. We want love. We want, compassion, but we're not willing to give that to ourselves. How do we expect to manifest that, right? So I know this is a whole other subject.
No, it isn't. And listen, nobody handed you a script to follow, and nobody handed me one. And that's my point. When you're in the moment, when you're in the now, it's like a comedian who does impromptu.
Exactly. It's like a freestyle, right? Yeah.
You're a freestyle. And because it is based on free will. And you have to always remember that you are co-creating, number one, and that nothing is ever about just one thing. So if you think it's about this, you're already stacking the deck against yourself, because no, it is not. So
Right.
I want to go back to what you said about, because that's an important thing. When people try to be a certain way, that is, now let's look at this. Let's say you and I decide to go out to dinner.
Right.
You're not really feeling it, even though you agreed a week ago, because some shit done happened. You're not there. You're not present.
Right.
That's people always say, you're not present, because the person isn't in the now. You know they're not here. And it usually pisses us off, and we take it personally.
Right.
Oh, I'm that boring? You just done muted me? Right.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
let's say I pick you up. You ready to go, Mike? And I'm excited. I've been waiting all week for you. You like my new shoes I got?
Right.
But you aren't there because there's something else weighing on your spirit. But you feel like you have to be, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So you're not being your authentic self, which means you're not in alignment with what that entire moment and the next one are for, because you're changing it by not bringing the one thing you do have control over.
Exactly.
So go on. Talk about how.
And you're gonna pick up on that, and then that's gonna interrupt the conversation that authentically wants to come through, right? Because your subconscious is gonna be like, "Oh, wait a minute, I
Who's
feel like
gonna pick up on it?
Huh?
You said you're gonna pick me.
Yeah.
And
yeah. You're gonna feel weird about it, right? And then that's gonna affect. Right.
I think
let me say,
we got to
Go
delay. People. There's a short delay. That's why he hears me after. You see what I'm saying, you guys? So I bet they're like, what's going on with them? That's what it is. We got a delay. But Michael, that's the kind of thing everybody can relate to this. Like with your significant other or a family member, or anybody you care about, when you're talking and you hear, and you know they should have said something different. You go, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Did you even hear what I said? You know that. Where and we've done it. You're completely somewhere else. So what is that?
I think that's a beautiful question, because I think it defines what we were told and programmed so many years ago, because we lost our technology on how to be, which is from Rene Descartes, right? He says, I think, therefore I am, right? So then humanity defined themselves by the way they think. So then that's where judgment came in and all these different things, right? Because before Rene Descartes, people were discovering who they were by nature and all these different things, right? So what I'm getting at, and this is a very important point, is we become lazy thinkers. Because when Rene Descartes introduced that, see, there was a difference between Buddha and Rene Descartes, right? Now, Rene Descartes went to such a deep level inside of himself, but he didn't realize the enemy was within. So instead of accepting that enemy within so they could befriend it, because that's what I've done in my own life. And I think that's what comes with being authentic, because not to get off track, but we think not being authentic is like something that is who we are, and we attach to that, and then we compare ourselves to that thing, right? But not being who we are is the very purpose of us existing in this dimension, because we had to forget everything that we were in order to be pure consciousness in this life, right? Because come on. Anyways, that's a whole other subject. I don't want to go into that.
Well, and when it starts getting all deep, look, I'll take the lazy man's route. Well, I take the lazy man's route, the easy way. I do. I just do. So I think what you were explaining right there is the same thing because when you're not being a good steward, you're not, for instance, when people come to coach with me, I don't say, well, you need this and you don't have that. And where's your this? Pointing out what a person doesn't have.
Yeah.
The best way, in my opinion, is to celebrate and acknowledge the things that a person already has in their possession, whether it's in a junk drawer in their life or something. And you can only glean what's come from the fields if you go back to a perspective where you can view the fields, which means all the neighborhoods you've come through, all the things that you've lived through.
From a higher perspective. Yeah.
From a higher perspective. Because then, okay, I'm starting with this. Now I know what I don't have. Now I know what to seek. But when we do it in reverse, we don't acknowledge who we are. We say, oh, like, why does the shy girl want to be with the cute girls? And then when they accept her, they don't realize they got to have a ugly girl to make the brunt of their jokes, to make it seem like they're accepting, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because they should be gravitating to you, but you gave up your soul's purpose because you're trying to become something that is not evenly yoked with the something you already are.
Right, but let's go into that, because that what I was just explaining right there, Lauren, is gonna really, because people are confused, and this is what causes a lot of confusion, is when you don't know the technology and the tools you're given, you'll use them as weapons and blunt instruments, right, against yourself.
Technology. Who froze? I think it's him. Yep, because I still see me on the screen. Okay, so Michael has frozen. Did I put a spell on him? You put a spell on me. No, it's Easter, not Halloween. Well, until Michael unfreezes, here, I know what we're going to do. I can see when he unfreezes, and I'll bring him back in. While we wait on Michael to thaw out, you guys take a look at our partner, one of our partners. We have many of them for the Romania trip. This is a nonprofit. It's Romanian-based. Hope for Kids. Really telling us, pulling back the curtain, if you will, to show us what's really down at the core, that splinter, if you will, that we're trying to help bring to the top, to get out. So the story of what's really happening with these children in Romania is all about. While we wait for Michael, take a look. We'll be right back.
Acolo a fost personalul de serviciu care ce înjura, ce blăstăma, ce ăsta și ți-o fura mâncarea. Unde? La Delta, la Sfântul Nicolae. Să nu fie toate numai pentru bani. Acum deja numai pentru bani. Că toți donațiile și astea, și donațiile privesc copiile, nu? Da. Privesc copii. Donațiile se pune în
The purpose of this documentary is to raise a universal alarm on the extreme poverty levels in which families and over 41.5% of Romanian children live in. Some children go to bed without eating. Some eat every 2 days. 8 in 10 Romanian children in orphanages are not even orphans. The extreme poverty levels of their families forces the parents to abandon their children, either in an orphanage, a placement center, or with a family member, so they can go abroad and work. Even more alarming than the rising poverty levels in Romania are its ramifications: neglect, child abuse, child labor, rape, trafficking, school abandonment, children ending up in the system, in prison, or even worse, dead. Now imagine a world in which all children can grow up in a loving family with proper food, access to education, sexual education, access to proper mental health and physical health, access to integration programs. Imagine these children having the same chance in life as our children. Let's be family to these children, all of us, together. Let's be the answer to the end of poverty and social exclusion. Join our forces and help us build a better world in which families and children of Romania flourish.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your
trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one who has a heart as pure, no, not like yours.
Hey, welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. You just saw the clip, 200 letters we're taking from children all across the United States to children all over Romania and hooking them up, hopefully as pen pals that will last for a long, long time. And so if you know a child that as long as they can express through writing, that's the age. So whatever, if you've got a little, prodigal, that can, prodigy, I guess. Prodigy. Told you I had 12th grade education. Go ahead. Let them send them over to us. They can find out more information about our pen pal program at powerofwisymposium.com, or just reach out to me directly, and we'll let you know how to get your letter or your kid's letter inside one of the 200 comfort cases that we will be giving away. And we're matching up, boys with boys, girls with girls, 12-year-old with 12-year-old. So you're not going to, if you're 14, you're not going to get an 8-year-old. Let's just put it that way. So I think it's great. We're building bridges of understanding and communication. We're teaching children to look for common ground, those things that are similar, not to point to their differences. Can I get an amen? Michael Post is unfrozen. He's been out on the counter thawing out for about 7 minutes. And I see you, man, that must have been chilly. You froze and you're muted still.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
So here, I know exactly where I want to go.
Yeah, this happens
okay.
a lot.
That's just something. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about.
This happens a lot because we are affecting the collective right now as we speak.
Yes. Yes.
This is part of. Oh, go ahead.
That's that lag we have. I'm just waiting for you. Go ahead.
Okay, just for the audience, I've been studying consciousness for over 20 years now, and one thing that I've discovered, because I used to have resistance with this process, but this is actually a beautiful thing, because when our systems break down, it's because our magnetic field is getting stronger. See, it's just like when you put a magnet on a computer, it obliterates the data, right? It just obliterates the computer. It only takes a small magnet. This is really defining that the smallness that you think you are is really the greatness that you really are. When you truly come from your heart, when you truly come from a very authentic place, which we're all there. So for you, that you are watching this, that you feel like you're not authentic with yourself, that's because you're so authentic with yourself, but you're so focused on the outside. Like Lauren was saying earlier, is to take that time to still the mind. And it's not easy in the beginning, because like we were saying earlier, Lauren, going back to that subject, is we've been taught to be lazy thinkers. See, society, the educational system, not to, pick on one or the other, but even our religions, ask us to depend on something outside of us so that we don't take the responsibility to transform our own life, right? So this thinking process of how we've been instilled is, well, like, kind of like mommy or daddy will take care of me, but in the psychological way, right? I don't have to take care of my psychology. You'll take care of it, Lauren. Tell me who I am, right? Lauren, am I good enough yet? Right? Do you feel me on that one?
Yeah.
Right? Am I good enough, Lauren? Because if I'm not good enough, if you don't say so, then I'll never believe I'm good enough until maybe life humbles me, and I have this awakening, because that's what's happening to a lot of people, right? That, wait a minute, I don't need anybody to tell me I'm good. I'm good with myself. But we have to go through this distillation process. That's why a lot of this is happening on the outside, because we haven't been taught how to think. Society has told us what to think, but not how to think. So when we really open up our technology, like we were discussing before this happened, you think it's a coincidence, Lauren? The clue is in life, right? Like the
I
whispers
don't
are always
believe in coincidence.
right. We're talking about, what do you mean by technology, Michael? And all of a sudden technology just froze. Really see that clue. I'm
Yeah.
asking the viewers.
Yeah, you got to
See that
grab them
clue.
because they come like meteors. You got to
Right.
grab them, but
Yeah.
you'll miss them if you're not seeking. If
Exactly.
you're
So
seeking, you will always get heads up in time to grab
right,
one before it goes past you.
right.
And
And
that's
see,
what
here's
makes
the
the
thing.
journey. That's what makes the journey for me so
Mhm.
frigging incredible.
Yes.
Because I'm always on the lookout. I'm always seeking. It's always
Right.
exciting. It is an adventure.
Yes.
But
And Lauren,
wait a minute. We sit here now and it sounds so simple. It sounds so obvious, so easy. Yet and still, I know for me, it took 50 years to begin the awakening process because I had to, what my soul came here to do, I had to check off all the things. So
right.
let's talk about you because you didn't always know what you know today. Tell us about this guy.
Well, I think the thing is, oh yeah, that's my
Tell us about
mugshot.
him. Who was
That's my mugshot
he?
from prison, right? Yeah.
Well, who are we looking at? Not where the picture was taken or the circumstances, but tell
Yeah.
us about that version of yourself. Because
That
I'm gonna say something. We're not putting that up there to go, ooh, look at that. He ought to be ashamed of what he
right,
did. No,
right.
we're there to celebrate this form of Michael, this version, because you couldn't have gotten to who you are without him. So
Exactly.
we owe him a debt of gratitude. Count it
Exactly.
all joy. So tell us, who was he and who is he
Oh my.
today?
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for that. That individual that you're seeing on the screen, that beautiful soul, it was really a soul that was looking for love in all the wrong places. He was looking for love outside of himself. He was involved in gangs and drugs, and really, really psychotic. I mean, pushing the envelope of death every day, getting beat maybe 3 times a week, and this person would go look for it.
Wait a
So
minute. This guy right here was getting
yeah,
beaten 3 times a week.
minimum.
Wait, this guy looks like he could go around with the young Rocky Balboa.
That one that you're looking at was really like Hulk, because every time that individual would get beat, he felt that was his addiction, because that person couldn't feel pain. And that's part of my story, because this person closed down to so much love because he closed down to pain. He became unstoppable, and he literally proved to himself that he could destroy his world so that he can come around full circle and really create his world. But he had to destroy all parts of himself. Now, this is why I'm saying this. People don't have to do this. You don't have to go this direction. But I'm saying that was his story.
That's what I did.
Person, right. You feel me, Lauren, right? Right. You destroy your world because you're like, I'm not worthy of living. And really, I think the other part of this is that I used, because we all do this. I used my incredible technology of thinking and emoting and feeling and sensing to focus on all the things that I didn't like, which was number one, myself. And part of this story is, when you hate yourself, when you want to destroy yourself, nobody can do worse than you. I'm going to say that again. When you want to destroy yourself, when you hate yourself and you're your worst fan, you're your worst enemy, there is no greater enemy outside of you. However, full circle, what I've discovered is when you love yourself, number one, then you don't seek love outside of you. You see the reflection of it, and it's a confirmation. It's not a dependency. So as that Michael that you're seeing on the screen, he wanted to find love outside of himself. So the reason why he got involved in gangs is because he didn't even know he was getting involved in gangs. This was his family. See, like I was telling you my story, my mother was in church all the time. And I'm going to tell you to the audience watching this, if you're in church all the time and you're giving the hope to God to take care of your children, let me tell you, you're giving them an image of God that doesn't care about them. You got to love your children as God, because God gave you your children. So when you instill the love of God in your children, more than a church, more than an institute, more than your profession, then you will see God in your children come through. But my mother seen the demon out of her child come through, because she would say, I don't see the drug addict. I see the demon. That's not you. So literally her child became demonized. That's why I was a drug addict. That's why I was a gang member. That's why I went to prison. And even in prison, I fell in love with prison because I had more respect in prison than out here. I got institutionalized. That you're looking at was in love with destruction, was in love with, I mean, as much as this sounds like ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
I get it.
Right?
Michael.
Nobody can tell. Go ahead.
No, I was the same way. I'm not kidding you. The day I went to prison, it felt like finally I'll be where I fit in.
Yeah.
A place where, and the thing about it was, even though, that shit was scary, when you're going through the orientation process and, you're waiting to go to where all of that, and you go to the yard and see people. But then I started finding things within myself, because you have to stay alive.
Yep.
I see, when I was on the street in the regular world with all those wounded theories, victim theories, I was my own worst enemy. And I was using everything today they call as brilliance. When I used those things from the wrong side of the spirit, they were known as conning, angle, all those things that did not serve me. No wonder I kept coming this close to turning the knife on myself, literally. Yes. So I get it. Now tell people now, okay, so we're looking at him. We're looking at
Lauren, well, go ahead. I think we froze. Okay, there you are.
We didn't. I'm waiting so you can talk.
Okay. No, I was going to say just a little quick touch on this. This is using technology irresponsibly. What you just said about our brilliance is technology. Our brilliance is technology. It's an inner technology, right?
I would say this.
So, go ahead.
I would change, for me personally. You said we were using it what?
We were using it irresponsibly, like not responsible for our own consciousness.
But to do something irresponsibly, you first have to understand the responsibility to be irresponsible.
But we did.
Yeah, right.
Lauren, we did.
What I say, when I was an innocent and I was a kid and I had been groomed, institutionalized, because foster care groomed me for the county jail, group homes groomed me for the county jail, same green mattresses, same green pillows, the same stainless steel toilets with the button, all of that. So when I got to the county jail, it felt like home. When I hit the prison yard, it felt like home, right?
Yeah.
So I would say this. If you're an innocent, it's not like you're doing it irresponsibly. You're just ignorant. You don't know better.
Yes. So we're ignorant of the technology. Exactly.
We're ignorant. Right.
Yeah.
But once you know, now it changes, because there's not a hedge of, there's not an insurance for once you know, because once you know, now you're supposed to change or choose. So tell us, how did this guy, when did he start to lose the anger, and how?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. Now, before we continue, I just want to give shout outs to Robert Brooker and Terry. Thank you for the love, because I see their comments. So thank you, Lauren. That's a great question. And I'm going to give people a hijack, like a code, a technology within a technology, because if you can relate to this, you'll see where the anger is coming from. Anger is really coming from like unconscious passion, right? And what it was,
Misguided, maybe?
what is it?
Misguided?
Yes. It misdirected, right? Because we're directing it
Misdirected.
outside of ourselves, right?
That's
So
better.
anger,
I
what's
like
that?
misdirect. I like misdirected better than
Right.
misguided.
Right, because we're
Right.
directed. That's a good point, right? And thank you, because you're seeing this live as two minds coming together to really, we're helping each other here, and this is what
Right.
humanity is all about, right? Is because I don't know everything. Like I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm a teacher, I know everything, I know more than you, so I'm going to help you. No, because we're going to come back to that anger, but I think this is very important because when I work with students, they're actually my best friends. They're actually my greatest mirrors. They're my teacher. See, when a teacher thinks I'm the teacher, they already lost. When a coach thinks I'm a coach, I'm going to coach you. No, when we work with our clients, like we tell them, like, you're my coach. Like, we're going to coach each other into this. We're going to be each other's student, right?
What? Look, on that note, I just want to say that because he's absolutely right.
Go ahead.
I mean, you're absolutely right. And here's what I say about that. As we ascend into the masters we came here to become,
yes,
we simultaneously have to remember not to lose being the student.
Yes.
So it's like a spiritual tie-dye. You got to let both of those colors bleed into each other.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Because they become one. That's a beautiful point, because we must separate ourselves to have the joy of what it feels like to unite with ourselves. That was the whole purpose of this experience, right? Because we come from pure consciousness. If I came from pure consciousness to come into this world and be like, I'm pure consciousness, there's no difference. The reason why I came here is to feel what it feels like. And I know people are going to be like, why would we do that? That's a whole nother conversation. And if we went into that conversation, we wouldn't be talking about this, is that we came into this world to realize what it feels like to be separate so that we could see each other as God sees itself through our eyes or spirit or the divine, right? We're in the divine's mind, right? We're being imagined into this reality so we can play with our imagination, just like we love to play with our visions, right? Like when we visualize, right? We like to play with our visualization. But when we play with our visualization, we're playing with ourselves. There's nothing outside of ourselves. So if you look at this as a micro macro, or micro macro means as within, so without, as above, so below, right? All is the same thing. It's just a different perspective and a different a degree of maturity in seeing the same thing in a different way, right? Just like when we grow, we're like, oh my gosh, like I could look back at that and be like, that wasn't as bad as it was, because now I've distilled and I alchemized the gift and what it is, right? So
Michael,
going back to the anger, right?
I just looked at the time. I'm just shocked. There's like 30 seconds left.
We're already an hour in, right?
I've already gone to my intricate technology of booking guests, which is this book, right?
Okay.
And listen, can you come back on the 17th, a Monday?
I'll come back whenever you want, Lauren.
Because we need to continue.
I'm
this.
honored to be here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I completely forgot we were on TV. That's why I was clueless I didn't even do the V8 sponsorship today.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay.
Did you want to do that real quick?
No.
Okay.
I got as long as I get so many of them in a month, because I could actually drink it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I mean, I love it.
Thank you to your
your
sponsors.
I don't want to.
Thank you.
Huh?
Yeah. Thank you to your sponsors,
right.
wherever they are. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, V8. But listen, we're gonna come back. Mark your calendars, everybody, on Monday, April 17th, to pick this back up. But in the meantime, on the screen are two roads to check out the things of Michael Post. There's a website, and there's also Instagram. Instagram is the quickest route to get to what you need right now, because they're doing some updates on the website, but we wanted you to still nonetheless have it. So take those, and I'm going to drop both of those into your comment section at the immediate conclusion here, which is now, so you can have them for ease. but then we'll get them to you again on the 17th because I know you'll be here. Michael, so much to unpack, so much. Stick around backstage for a second. I want to talk to you about something. And
of course.
You guys, let me see. Monday.
So Lauren, if they want to know the secret to master anger in a way, tune in for the 17th because we're gonna dive deep into that.
Okay. Oh Lord, give me some water. We're gonna dive into that and more. I think we need to do a special. Listen, come on back Monday. Sherry Berger. The here to there consultant. I remember her now. That's gonna be a good one, y'all. Come on in. There are gonna be some surprises coming up that day. You'll see why. I already know. Sherry Berger Monday. Next week on Tuesday, badass Jamie Lane from our expert show is turning the tables. It'll be right here, but she'll be interviewing me. She doesn't tell me what the questions are going to be, so that ought to be interesting. And then we have Adam Duvall from the UK on Wednesday. Leo Ricard will be here, also from Canada, on Thursday. And then our monthly Meet the Experts show will be here. We'll get you in on that too, Mike, if you want to come and hang out with the experts on Friday the 14th. You want to come?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on here. We'll get you the link.
Remember on our call, Lauren, I said I'm open to all opportunities because it's time. It's time.
There you go. Listen, get out there. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter to you and yours. I will see you all, God willing, right out there Monday morning on the front porch. So together we can come back and change each other as we change the world. I love you, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Michael, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
One thing is stop wishing to live life and start living life. And it's a very simple step is take accountability of where you are and what you can do right here, right now, because it all is now. Take an action each day. And the more you take responsibility of your own life, you'll be surprised where you are the next month, the next
there you go.
3 months.
All right. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, and I'm probably going to get for going over, but I don't care. I answer to one, and y'all know who it is. I'll see you Monday morning. I'll see you. God bless you. I love you. Michael, good job, man. See you soon.
You.
Bye, all.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.